Welcome to the Toastmasters Experience. My name is Evelyn. Get inspired by today's Toastmasters insights. Enjoy the show. And welcome to another episode of the Toastmasters Experience. I'm excited and delighted to have Mark Walker in my studio today. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you, Evelyn. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah, it's so good to have you here. I love it when people are able to visit me up in the Blue Mountains. Now, I always start off at the beginning. What motivated you to join Toastmasters? What club are you in? And how many years have you been a Toastmaster?
Well, I joined in 2005, and I'm a member of several clubs in the mountains. Glenbrook Toastmasters, Enhanced Toastmasters. I'm a member of a club in Penrith, a morning club, Penrith CBD. And I'm a member of an online club, Koala Communicators.
Koala Communicators. I've never heard of that. Is that a new club?
It's a club that's been around for over 30 years. It was Gunnedah Toastmasters.
Okay.
But we recently rebadged that about 2 years ago to be a fully online club, specialising in developing your online presentation skills.
Oh, fantastic. Now, 30 years, Gunnedah, it wasn't online when it started off,
No, it was
it?
a face-to-face club.
It was a face-to-face club. And what made you decide to make it online?
The club was going through a change in terms of trying to rebrand itself and where it felt a need. And in the middle of COVID, its best need was to promote online skills.
Okay.
So that's where it was sort of born.
Yeah.
We then, it's continued as an online club since. Because we've got members from Sydney right across the district.
Okay. And obviously you must be one of the main people of this club or main founders?
Well, I'm the current president.
Oh, are you? Okay.
And handing over, and I'll be the Vice President of Education in this coming Toastmaster year.
Okay. So being online, do you have members who are from other parts of the world?
Not currently. We're just across the district. So people from Northern Division right up to the Queensland border, and then people in Sydney.
Okay. So you said you joined in 2005.
I did.
And I know that you've held different leadership roles. When did you first join leadership roles?
A couple of years after. So the main motivation for joining initially was because I was becoming a medical specialist. I wanted presentation skills to ensure that I didn't deliver boring presentations to GPs, but also to help me pass the Viva exam as a specialist. So when you're a specialist, the Viva exam is pretty much like a long table topic where you spend half an hour with two fellow consultants quizzing you on real-life patients. I had seen non-Toastmasters deliver impromptu speaking very well, and there was an area that I needed to develop my skills. So what better place than Toastmasters to do my impromptu speaking. So
you're celebrating 20 years. Have you gone that threshold yet? Because you said 2005.
Yes.
So has it been? Have you?
Yes, just last month.
Oh, fantastic! Congratulations! 20 years is huge. What has been something about Toastmasters that has surprised you?
Well, you mentioned the leadership pathway. Certainly, when I started, it was not on my radar. I had seen obviously the value of presentation skills and becoming a better presenter. But I suppose over time, developing leadership and seeing the opportunities that Toastmasters gave me.
Oh, fantastic! So, what was your first leadership role?
My first leadership role was as an area director.
Okay.
In area when we were still District 70.
Yes.
So I was an area director in 2012, and then the following year I became Western Division governor.
Right.
When we still had them as governors.
When we had them as governors,
in the last year of District 70 before we became District 90.
Okay, and the area director, were you the area director for the Blue Mountains clubs?
I was at that stage.
Okay,
right.
And I was just talking to Michael about that when when District 70 and became District 90. So were you a part of that sort of?
So I served in that last 12 months in preparation for the separation.
Okay.
So it was an enlarged trio and top table ready to take over. But at that stage, Western Division had 8 area directors under me. So it was the largest division in District 70 at the time of the formation of District 90.
Wow. So 8 clubs. That must have been
8 area directors.
8 area directors, and you were the Western Division?
Division governor.
Wow, Western Division governor. Oh my! So that's why they decided they wanted to split it up. Because Michael was explaining, because it was getting so big, and this was way before COVID. What year was it?
2015, 16.
Why was it called District 90? I mean, why do they choose certain numbers?
So as new districts form, it just relies on the next number.
Okay.
So at that stage, there had been 19 other districts formed since District 70.
Okay.
And then we became District 90.
Okay, and it became District 90. Do you feel, because I sort of feel that way, that District 90 and District 70, they're really quite different. Do you feel that, even though it used to all be one big district and that they split not really that long ago? Well, 10 years, actually it's been 10 years. So do you feel like there's a bit of a different culture?
Having been in both districts and knowing some of the longer-term Toastmasters, I see similarities across both the districts, but I do think you end up identifying and being more drawn to one of the districts probably because of your association with your home club. And you get most of the information from that district as a home club in terms of newsletters and interaction.
Right.
And you have the area director come, so you probably get more up-to-date knowledge and understanding what's happening at a district level.
And was it your idea to go like much higher, I guess, so you were Western governor?
Yeah, Western Division governor.
Western Division governor. Was it in your radar to go higher?
Well, I had been, I suppose, serving at that level. I saw people like Michael said already in the trio on leadership. Bob Kirshner was going to become the first district director for District 90. So I saw that and was inspired. In fact, my year of almost all the division governors that year have gone on to become district directors. So
right.
Tanya Wickham, Udo Morig, Phil Reid, Shirley Childs, all have been district directors for District 90, and we were all in that year that I was actually division governor. So there's just one person that didn't actually go on to the lead.
Okay, so it just seems like a progression because you
not always,
not
but I
always,
suppose having been in District 70 in that time and the late like 2005, 2006, there were very strong leaders leading District 70 at that time. They were a very strong district, a lot of growth, and a lot of inspirational leaders there. So it's certainly been I was aware of it. I never really thought I'd be district director.
So you're able to do this twice, and why was that?
I had the benefit of serving 2 years. It wasn't planned. I served for my first year, and then the district director of the following year resigned after 3 months. So as the immediate past district director, I was able to step back in and support the district and lead for the remaining 9 months of that year.
Yeah.
And it ended up being a fantastic year because that year we became distinguished for the second time only in our 10 years in formation. So it was a very proud moment to be a distinguished district, and that was due to a lot of hard work of the district leadership team that last year.
So how do you become distinguished district?
To be a distinguished district, there are similar goals that are set by Toastmasters, just like at a club level. And they include membership for the district, the formation of your base number of clubs, as well as membership payments. So in achieving that, there are benchmarks of growth set by Toastmasters, and we're able to achieve that in that 12-month period to become distinguished. And so it was, to be recognised at the international convention was a very proud moment to get on stage with the Australian flag and to be congratulated and cheered on by the international Toastmasters community. It was a wonderful moment.
Okay. Oh, fantastic. And that was in Los Angeles, wasn't it?
It was.
Wow.
In Anaheim.
And were there other clubs that were given that award as well? Or
so there were a range of clubs, districts that achieved that in that year, right through to, and again, like in a club level, there's distinguished districts right through Smedley's distinguished districts.
Okay.
So all those districts were recognised and in their Hall of Fame.
I just always remember you as starting things and being a leader.
Certainly in the last 10 years, that's certainly been a prominent part of my Toastmasters journey and experience. There was a couple of years break, but once you commit and are working on the trio, it's certainly a 4-year usually a 4-year commitment.
4-year commitment, yeah.
To not only go through the trio, but also importantly that last year, which is just as I'm completing this year, to stay and support the incoming trio to achieve success and to be the immediate past district director.
When people talk about Toastmasters, all they talk about is speaking, but they don't realize that there is this leadership path. And some of the argument is, I don't want to be a leader because I want to be in speech competitions. So you've probably heard that. But leaders actually, I find you guys speak more than the normal Toastmaster.
There's certainly the opportunity to do a lot more formal presentations and informal presentations as a district leader. And I certainly have grown as a speaker. I even just the opportunity, whether that be at a club level or at a district event, to be called on, even to come and do a podcast.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have necessarily done that as just as a normal club member. But certainly the opportunity is there to develop your speaking style. So watch out, everybody, when I can compete next year in area contests again.
Are you going to start competing then?
I certainly may.
You said, okay, great. Because being in the leadership role, you would see what competitors give to the table. And there's probably a bit of I don't know what it is, probably a bit of a formula. Have you noticed that with the winners?
I think every year, what I'm amazed with is how a good speaker will be able to just tap in to something and identify a key aspect for that audience that resonates with the audience, and it just works. And I don't know quite how you get that formula, but I'm always amazed where you will be able to hear and see that speaker's message and just think, wow, that is a fantastic speech.
Yeah.
It just stands out as an awesome speech.
Yeah, no, that's right. And sometimes it doesn't even matter how long they've been a Toastmaster, because I've noticed the last few winners of the World Championship, some of them haven't been a member for that long. So that doesn't matter as well. Now, you were in Los Angeles, right? Were you able to see the competition, the speech competition in LA?
Yeah, I did see some of them.
Yeah,
right.
You did see some of them. And I mean, with there was such a wide range of experience and level. And then, of course, there was a bit of, 2 people timed out and then 1 person was disqualified.
Drama.
That's a good word for it. There was a bit of drama.
It's a bit of drama.
There was a bit of drama, but I love the whole experience. It was quite exciting to get to that level, because the higher the level that you go with the speeches, the better the speeches are.
That's right. But I also like how the speech has to be different.
Yeah.
So their speech that they have won at a district level will be a different speech of what they'll compete on.
Yeah.
Once they get through. And I just am amazed that people have that sort of level of quality as speakers, that they have just another one in their bag just to pull out to deliver and win a competition with.
Yeah, no, that's right. So what has Toastmasters done for your professional life?
So certainly it's brought confidence in presenting to a range of different audience, whether that be the public or specialists or GPs, in a more formal meeting presentation. But in the leadership role, being able to chair meetings at Toastmasters has allowed me to fulfill my role as a board member at a public hospital local hospital that I work on, and even run community meetings, the hockey club meeting, and chair meetings there. So getting meeting experience, getting the experience being able to engage and deliver and present in a public forum, but even be able to MC easily.
And what has Toastmasters done for your personal life?
Personally, I feel I've developed that self-confidence of being able to speak in any forum and to be able to engage and interact with people on a level that is meaningful and has that value adds when I interact with others.
I mean, I know personally that you are a psychiatrist, so I would think that you would have things figured out and you would know exactly what to say. So I'm assuming Toastmasters has helped you to focus more on your thoughts?
Well, psychiatrists are good listeners.
Okay.
We're not always good speakers. Certainly Toastmasters has allowed me to feel confident in speaking in those medical forums I've spoken about, presenting and talking. But the value I think that Toastmasters really brings is being able to communicate at any level with anyone.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's, I think, a real skill that's
Yeah.
been honed through Toastmasters for me.
So besides Toastmasters, is there anything else that you do for self-development? Like, are there any interesting books that you read or podcasts that you listen to?
In terms of self-development, I like keeping abreast of world politics and keeping up to date with what's going on across the globe,
Yeah.
which is just fascinating at the moment. In terms of my interests, I have a big interest in Australian military history. So I like reading. The other thing I like is I have interest in Australian plants and orchids. So I'm an avid gardener. And that keeps me grounded.
Yeah.
Good getting your hands dirty.
Yeah.
Sort of an earthy feel.
Yeah.
And that helps me get managed professionally, and it also just keeps me busy. I enjoy it.
So with the field that you're in, how has technology affected the mental health and the communication?
The demands on people now are like nothing else before. When I grew up, we switched off.
Yeah.
We had no device time. You were free from Saturday afternoon because the shops closed. And you certainly weren't contacted by work after you left the office. You had one telephone. And if you're lucky enough, you had an extra jack in your bedroom to be able to answer your friends of a night. Social media, the work demands, even the working from home, while that's really important for people, starts to blur those boundaries between home life and the switching off. But social media now, the scrutiny that young people are under, the bullying, it's such a different world. And as we go to AI, so many different issues are coming up, and I'm just amazed how quickly the technology is evolving, yet the conversations aren't happening around how we make that safe and how do we actually use that effectively.
I think there's a huge problem with communication, and that's why I think Toastmasters is more important than ever. I think it's more important to have young people join Toastmasters. We've been really quite lucky at Blue Mountains. We've had quite a few younger people join, and I think they found a lot of benefit out of joining, because I think the way younger people communicate is just so different so I actually really do think Toastmasters helps.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I was one of the site directors of training for psychiatry at Nepean Hospital for close to 20 years. I'd always encourage my junior doctors, the registrars doing psychiatry, but even the residents to come and do speechcraft, to develop the speaking skills and the confidence, because it doesn't matter what type of doctor you are, what level of specialist, GP, being able to communicate effectively with patients and their families is crucial, but even being able to communicate well with their colleagues. So our speechcraft course in Glenbrook Toastmasters for many years used to have a lot of junior doctors come along and engage and get those speaking skills. So young people, it's a skill set that is often missed at school. They don't get the experience always to be able to have the opportunity to speak in and develop those speaking skills. But certainly at Toastmasters, that's our bread and butter.
Recruiting people in Toastmasters can be a bit difficult, but I think it's so important to get this younger next generation in. Do you have any thoughts on how we can attract the younger generation?
I think how we advertise and market it's crucial. And being able to see the utility of where they're using it and how they can develop. So certainly the breakfast club that I'm part of at Penrith CBD targets the young. We actually meet in a youth employment service. So certainly some of the people that attend that are encouraged to come along to Toastmasters to develop their interview skills. And even being able to sell that of how you can interview more professional way or to get the better job. The utility of that, I think, is a selling point. And I do think we need a better Instagram, Snapchat presence.
Oh, okay.
If we start to Snapchat, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, okay. I know we do have to attract the younger generation in that way. And what I love about Toastmasters, when we have all ages at a meeting, it's so, it's
vibrant.
It's vibrant. That's
so
it.
Dynamic.
It is. It's just so dynamic.
And with the new education program now, it very much feeds into that self-directed learning that people need, and they can go away and they've got the resources all online for them to be able to develop through the Pathways program.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So I know when Pathways first started, because I didn't like it at first either, but once I embraced it, I thought, oh, this is pretty cool.
And there's been some revision and refinement of the program in the last 12 months, and it's even easier to use now. I think easier to bring it at club level to ensure that people are incorporating it into the meeting program.
So when you're not doing leadership roles and you're able to give a speech, what sort of speech topics do you like to talk about?
I tend to enjoy giving informative speeches or inspirational speeches. I find humour particularly difficult.
Yeah.
But the inspirational speech, I like to refine that and to present to the audience an important message. I think it's critical to think around or to challenge them on their thinking.
Right.
That's what I like doing.
Yeah.
How effective it is, I'm not sure, but that's what I like to try. That's my aim as a speaker.
Yeah. And I know that at the District 90 conference, you were the MC. Was that your first time being an MC?
It was. Throw yourself into the ring and just step up.
Yes, and just step up. How did you find that different, though, being an MC versus doing like a leadership, like a higher role? Did you find it more fun, or did you find it actually just really, really stressful?
I was mindful of trying to engage and keep the event moving and for members, and we had a really inspirational opening by the local MP. And to follow on after that was really a real pleasure. And being the MC on that first night at the district conference was fun because a lot of energy. What's been lovely to see, having come out of COVID, is we're really getting back now face-to-face conferences, and you feel that energy of the members coming together and the networking that happens. We miss that when we're on hybrid conferences. The buzz in the room. So it's wonderful to be part of that, to feed off that and to engage it. So I enjoyed it immensely being the MC.
Yeah.
And I just hope that I was able to facilitate the movement of the program, that people enjoyed it, and we just there was a memorable night for people. The other thing I found being the MC is the flexibility that you needed to bring into the role when unexpected things were happening.
Right.
Like, where was the next speaker?
I know.
They've disappeared.
Yeah. Where's the food's not being served? Yeah, I know.
We're not quite going to time. And
So
being able to ensure that it looks seamless and it looks smooth to the rest of the audience without any, and keeping a cool head under pressure is important.
For sure.
You try to get the slideshow working.
Yes, I know. It's funny, what do you do with technology, you know? And I saw that you were dancing as well, because you were you did a little bit of a dance. I don't know what you were doing there, but
it's a little bit of ad-lib.
Okay.
Channeling the gambler.
So what's your next project now in Toastmasters? Because you've done so much. So what is your next goal?
Right at this moment, I'm stepping back and obviously just supporting my clubs. So I'll be doing some club leadership roles, I expect. But at a district level, just to be a past resource for district leader and a resource for the new leadership team coming in for this Toastmasters year. But we'll see what the future holds.
Yeah. So you might go Monique's route, like international director, or maybe regional or international president. I don't know.
If my wife is listening to this, she'll have a fit.
Okay.
So that certainly there are the regional advisor role that sits and supports a number of districts to be successful and helps educate and train the district leaders from each district is a 1 or 2 year role that one could do at an international level. Yeah. And certainly the international board is an incredible opportunity to help plan and provide that leadership to take Toastmasters on into the future.
I feel there's a certain personality for the person who takes these leadership roles and goes a bit further. Would you agree with that? Because I feel that, like with you and other leaders that I've met who have gone up the route and are keep going higher and higher. There seems to be sort of a, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, look, I think there is many of us will have a commitment to serve, to ensure that we can leave the organisation in a better space
Yeah.
than when we came and joined, or just an appreciation of what the organisation has done for us personally.
Yeah.
And so whether that at a club level or at a district level or in serving on the board, to give back to ensure that the organisation is successful.
I'm so grateful that there are so many members who do enjoy those roles and they get so much out of it. I think with speaking leadership, there's just so much about Toastmasters that is just so.
And the service role as a leader is very much that reverse triangle where the club and the members are at the top.
Yeah.
We're there trying to support all those clubs across the district to be successful and to grow as clubs into vibrant clubs that are delivering individually for those members, whether that member stays for 12 months or whether it becomes a long-term member, that each of those members takes out what they want from the Toastmasters program and to develop their communication and their leadership skills and to become better people from that experience.
Yeah. And I do know people I speak to, about Toastmasters, so many, like you just said, maybe they've just joined for a year or two, but they always say, God, it totally changed my life. And I do feel Toastmasters does change your life, and always for the better.
Certainly. I remember in 1992, I would see Toastmasters advertised at the local Glenbrook fair. At that stage, Glenbrook would have a little stall, and it was just in the back of my mind, oh no, can't quite go there yet.
Oh, really?
I'm not good enough. So I eventually got there in 2005. But certainly getting the brand out and so people are aware of what we can do and how the program can help people improve themselves and to develop their communication and leadership skills is really important.
It is really important. It does really change a lot of people's lives. Now, it's been such a pleasure having you here today. What advice would you give someone considering joining Toastmasters?
That advice, Evelyn, would be go through the door and sit down. The hardest thing is going into the meeting to start off. That very first time, that very first meeting. I remember the first meeting I attended, I think I spoke at a table topics for about less than 15 seconds. And I spent then the next 2 weeks thinking about how I should have improved that table topic. Going along, it's a program that you learn by doing. And we can only develop those skills by practice. And it's a safe place to practice. It's a safe place to grow and to develop and to try things. And I'd encourage that member, that new potential member, is to give it a go and try, because the opportunities are immense and you just won't know how far you could go, but you have to start by trying.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure.
It's been lovely being here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your company. Please tune in next time to the Toastmasters Experience.